watching movies and jamming out. K-Flix 198.4 Fiction Radio.
Welcome back to K-Flix Fiction Radio. This week we finally cover a property I've really been looking forward to. It's the cult classic Eddie and the Cruisers.
And its follow-up, Eddie and the Cruisers 2, Eddie Lives.
Yeah, yes. Can't forget the sequel.
Yeah, this is one that when we first started doing the show, kept popping up online as like, oh, this is a fictional band movie. And not wrong, the people of the internet. It's a big one.
Yeah, it really is. I was aware of it early on in the process. I almost suggested it for the first round and the second round, but you beat me to it, Dustin. You suggested it for this round 3 here.
Yeah, it just felt like it was time to explore. And we get to sort of re-rendezvous with a few people that we've already talked about on the show.
Yeah, what is this? This is a third time talking about an Ellen Barkin movie.
Yep. She was in Buckaroo Banzai and what was the other one?
Tender Mercies.
And then Michael Paré.
Yeah, from Streets of Fire coming back.
In a big way.
Yeah, super big way. He is Eddie Wilson from Eddie and the Cruisers, so he's in both of these things.
He's a really good lip sync singer guy, I guess. Like that's his call. That was his calling in the 80s, at least.
Well, he didn't do any of that in Streets of Fire. He was just the tough guy in Streets of Fire.
Oh yeah,
it was
okay.
Ellen Aim was the performer in that one.
That's true.
But yeah, he really sells it in these Eddie movies.
He does. Yeah. When did Streets of Fire come out? Do you remember the year on that?
84 or 5?
Yeah, it looks like 84. So just after Eddie and the Cruisers, and then several years before 89 was the sequel.
Right.
These were good years for this kind of movie. Like it's got that, like we're still coming out of the 70s feel of what a movie is.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because this could have been turned into because it's a mystery. Like I didn't expect it to start out as a mystery.
I didn't either.
It could have totally been taken in another direction and made into like an action movie with the music shoehorned in.
Totally.
Which, you know, could be Streets of Fire is that, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much is.
But it's a different kind of 80s movie. This feels like the last breath of the slow-paced 70s film that the blockbuster sort of killed.
Yeah. I dug the pace of this thing. I really loved the story that it told. I didn't know that it was based on a book, but now having that knowledge, it sort of makes sense the way that the movie was paced.
It does, yeah. And I think it works. I didn't find myself like going like, oh my God, this is taking forever. Because it is a pace. It's not just like, it's not clunky or anything.
No.
It moves how it wants to move. I did find some of the dialogue clunky, some of the writing and delivery, but whatever. I'll forgive that because the music is so good.
Yeah. And honestly, I thought that the story was pretty good too. You know, the census online is that the music overshadows both movies, and I would say that it's a closer race with the first one, at least.
Definitely, yes. I will have some things to say about the difference in the music between the two, but I would agree in both cases, the music overshadows the film a bit.
Sure.
I mean, I think it is a good movie. I'm going to read you a quote that I read from Roger Ebert.
Okay.
I agree with. Have you read this?
No.
Roger Ebert gave the film 2 stars out of 4. He said, despite having a good cast, music that he called terrific, and an intriguing concept, the ending is this is a quote, the ending is so frustrating, so dumb, so unsatisfactory, that it gives a bad reputation to the whole movie. And I mean, I don't disagree with him. Overall, this is not important enough in my life now in 2025 to feel anything that big about it, but I was a little taken aback by the ending, which I don't know. Maybe I guess I won't spoil, or I guess we kind of have to spoil.
Yeah, I mean it'll be spoiled when we're talking about the second movie. Spoilers for 2 movies that came out in the 80s, kids. Turn off the podcast now and go watch these films and come on back.
That's how we prefer it always. Is you having seen The Thing?
Yes,
because you'll have a better time.
Or not caring that we're about to talk about how things end.
But anyway, it's a movie mystery about a singer in a band that's just gotten really popular who dies in a car wreck. Except, twist, He wasn't dead.
Nope. Still alive.
Still alive, which we have to tell you because he is alive and the main character of the second movie.
Yes. Yeah.
Eddie wasn't really the main character of the first movie. Paul was.
Yeah. The Word Man.
The Word Man. Yeah, their lyricist. Which that is a thing. Without Paul in the second one, the lyrics are worse. Way worse.
I know.
I don't know if that's on purpose, but it works.
It does work. Yes.
Real quick, I want to get out everything bad I want to say about this movie.
About the second one?
About the first one. Did you happen to read Ellen Barkin's quote?
No.
Ellen Barkin said, "That was what we like to call a pay the rent job. It wasn't a script I liked, but I remember my agent at the time saying, 'Look, you only have to work for 2 weeks and they're going to pay you a lot of money. We'll just say it was your first movie and they just didn't release it.' I think people were all fucked up on drugs. I don't know. I was a little removed because I wasn't on the movie the whole time, but it seemed like it was just a mess." She goes on to say she didn't feel like she knew who was directing it.
Wow.
Like it was just a big party.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, Ellen Barkin didn't have a great time on this one.
No, sounds like it. Wow.
But yeah, I just wanted to get that out now because now I can be done disparaging it and we can talk about all the good things about it.
Well, when it first came out, the general public, I guess, agreed with all of that stuff because it flopped super hard. It was pulled out of theaters after 3 weeks of release.
That's rough.
But then around 9 months later, it hit HBO and was available in people's homes and then found a completely new life, got re-released into theaters. The soundtrack got re-released and then it became a pretty big hit, the soundtrack and a couple of the songs.
Yeah, like a legit hit.
Yeah, On the Dark Side went to number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100, and Tender Years hit 31.
Not bad. I mean, deserved. These are legitimately good songs.
They really are.
They're not like good for movie songs. They're just like good songs. And I mean, there's kind of a reason for that. It's a real band.
It is a real band, yeah.
I mean, I guess we should address this now. John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band wrote all the music for both movies. And it's a big part of their career. Yeah. Is those 2 albums.
It really is, yeah. A huge part.
2 soundtracks, and then they have another record of sort of live and alternate version, unreleased stuff.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the Eddie Lost tapes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I saw that.
But yeah, I think it's the way to go. If you can find a band that is the style you want, just let them do it. Don't get involved.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Let them be them. I'm sure that you came across the information that Martin Davidson was looking for a band that had elements of Dion and the Belmonts and also Jim Morrison from The Doors and Bruce Springsteen, since he was also from Jersey.
They found it. Extra on the Springsteen, I think everyone agrees.
Quite heavy on the Springsteen side of that scale.
Which, it's easy to look at this and go, wow, these guys are just kind of ripping off Bruce. But they're not. They are of a shared pedigree. Like, they just came up on the same boardwalks that they both love to sing about in New Jersey. And, and that's what the music comes out like, you know?
You also have piano players and horn players in the same bands, and you got that same Jersey voice coming out of a guy, you know? It's all gonna have that same sauce, you know?
Definitely. And I think it was in vogue in the height of Springsteen's career, late 70s through 80s. The whole kind of bluesy bar band sound was very in. Yes. And I think there are a lot of John Caffertys out there that we've kind of forgotten their names over the years, but there's more material like this out there.
Absolutely.
I had some fun going down just listening to these soundtracks. I would let it play, and then it would, the music algorithm would feed me whatever it wanted after that, and I let it play a few times because it was just good stuff.
Oh,
track after track.
That's super fun. So how John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band were found is because Martin Davidson hired Kenny Vance, original member of Jay and the Americans, as the music supervisor for this film.
Yes.
And you probably know Jay and the Americans for songs like Come a Little Closer, She Cried, and their cover of This Magic Moment.
Yes.
Kenny also had 2 songs on the soundtrack.
Yeah, he did. The really 50s sounding ones, the ones that get us back into our wheelhouse of
Yeah.
80s movies about the 50s. They're good songs.
They're really good songs. And it was Kenny who found John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band. Here is John Cafferty talking about that on the YouTube channel Professor of Rock.
As legend has it, I mean, I'm not sure how true it is, but I've heard the legend that Kenny was walking down Bleecker Street in Greenwich Village one night. Kenny's from New York, so he's walking down Bleecker Street, and there's this little bar called the Bitter End, where Bob Dylan used to play, among others, Say No More. And it's down in the basement, and little steps that go down. And we heard the sound of the saxophone, the pianos, and the drums, and heard the sound of like the 50s and 60s coming out of there, only it was different. It was like we were playing it like... we weren't playing it like oldies music. We were swinging from the heels, He said, "What's going on here? This sounds pretty good." So he came and he watched us, and I never even knew he was there. I mean, he came and watched us, and then he left. But I know he left with a smile on his face because, about a year later, he called us up and said he had a movie script called Eddie and the Cruisers, and they were looking for some music, and they thought that we might have the goods, and they were also looking for a sax player to be in the movie, and wanted to know if tunes would be interesting.
Pretty cool. Also
Pretty
wild
cool.
that it came back around for them a year later.
Yeah, it's how things go. It also made me realize, sort of him saying that made me realize that's what Bruce was doing too. Like if you listen to Springsteen songs, they are 50s songs wrapped in a new style.
Yeah.
A new sort of tempo and instrumentation, but like these are like doo-wop and R&B songs.
Yeah. It's a really interesting observation, and it's a very correct one.
So, yeah. Thank you, Mr. Cafferty, for pointing that out.
Totally. Just a couple of things about Kenny Vance. Did you look into him at all, Dustin?
No. I mean, I kind of gleaned the things that you said, which, the band he was formerly a member of and stuff, but no, I don't have anything beyond that.
Dude, he helped get Steely Dan off the ground.
No way.
Yeah. I had no idea about that before
dang.
this. But Walter Becker and Donald Fagen would write string and horn parts for Jay and the Americans, and they were also doing bass work and keyboard work for the tours.
Oh, no kidding. Okay,
yeah,
that makes
they were
sense.
like part of the live touring act.
I feel like I knew Steely Dan were sort of musicians for hire first.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Toto Wrecking Crew style connection.
Yeah.
Because they're just so good at playing their instruments. It's like, yeah.
They're amazing.
You did this for other people for sure.
Oh, yeah. Totally. And just one more Kenny fact. He was also the music supervisor for Animal House soundtrack.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Maybe I don't remember bringing him up when we talked about that movie.
I don't either. That was well over a year ago, but yeah.
Okay, yeah. Legend, Kenny Vance.
Been all over the place. Done some cool stuff.
That's awesome. Yeah, I looked into Kenny Vance very little beyond knowing that the couple songs of his I heard on the soundtrack were pretty cool.
Yeah.
The, like flashback stuff.
He's a talented dude.
So one comment that's been made, and I'll make this point quick because we haven't played anything by Eddie and the Cruisers yet.
Okay.
They were supposed to have originally existed in like the 60s. Ish.
Yes, I think it takes place in 63 where they have like their big moment, and then 64 is when Eddie Wilson has the car crash.
And the big sort of like conundrum that people have with this is like, well, but this guy sounds like Bruce Springsteen.
Yes.
It doesn't sound like music from the early 60s. It
No.
sounds like they're doing a spin on it and they're playing it now. They sort of take care of that in the script and say like just constantly refer to them being ahead of their time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was funny. I think it's a concession that's worth it because the music's fun as it is.
Yes, I agree.
I don't know if I would have done it as a period thing, but yeah, that's a big part of the movie.
They're probably just holding true to the book in that regard instead of changing up the years. I don't know.
Oh, you're totally right. I forgot about the book.
Yeah.
of course.
The book of the same title, which was written by P.F. Klug.
The same guy who wrote Dog Day Afternoon.
Yeah. Yeah. Which later became an Al Pacino movie.
It was 2 big film books. Yeah, you're totally right. I'm sure they were just sticking true to the book. And I'm sure it didn't hurt in the 80s selling a script saying it's a rock and roll nostalgia piece.
Also true.
As we've talked about, so in.
Yeah. Yes.
All right, so we've been yapping about how good this guy's music is, and we haven't heard it yet. You want to dive in on Eddie and the Cruisers?
I'm so pumped to get into Eddie and the Cruisers.
I'm going to kick it off with the big hit from the movie, On the Dark Side. It's got a nice build, and I assume everyone is hearing the Bruce-ness already.
This isn't a Bruce Springsteen song?
I'm sure many people think it is. I bet a lot of people, I bet it's one of those songs.
If you just heard it on the radio and didn't hear the introduction,
a whole generation is like, just thinks it's a Bruce song.
I wouldn't be surprised by that at all.
No, man, it's just the New Jersey in their blood coming through.
Oh, yeah. And I will say, Michael Pare does a great job of, like, getting the neck. Like, because...
the neck veins? Yeah.
The neck strain, like, he does a real good job with that.
Somewhere I read, someone praised him on his lip-syncing abilities.
Oh.
Specifically for this movie, yeah.
Great.
Might have been one of the nice things Roger Ebert said. I don't know.
I mean, he gave it 2 stars for a reason. There's got to be something in there.
Gave it more than 1, yes. True.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you can, like, okay. Like we're gonna be going back to Bruce Springsteen on almost every song because it's not a hard comparison to make.
But there are a lot of other things that are mixed in as well. It's not just hard Bruce Springsteen parody band or anything.
No, again, I think it's of the time, and I think it sits well with other artists like John Mellencamp, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Like here's a little Crumbling Down.
Yeah, I can hear that.
And I mean, like, there's no horn section. Like the big thing that makes it a Bruce Springsteen thing is the horn section, I think.
Well, also the like plucky keyboard piano
totally.
stuff is also super E Street Band.
Yes, definitely. But I will say songs like that one from John Mellencamp are still in that like bar band stomping beat kind of world.
Yeah.
Just to continue my journey a little bit here on songs that are in this world. This is someone I know you've seen and I know you've met, Eddie Money.
Oh,
his song "Shakin'."
The Money Man.
The Money Man. I feel like this is in that same universe. It's got more 80s sheen
Yes.
on top of it. But there is one Bruce Springsteen song in particular that this really, really draws me to. And it's funny enough, it's a Bruce Springsteen song that was written after On the Dark Side. Because On the Dark Side this movie was 1983. This is a Bruce Springsteen song that I believe was written in 1985. It was definitely released in 1987. We've heard it before. We've talked about it before. It's Light of Day.
Oh, wow. Yeah, all right. I love that it's just another movie song.
And maybe that's something about it. Maybe there's something about the moviness that makes On the Dark Side so perfect. But it's like a barroom shuffle.
Yeah.
Both songs I think would be good to fight to.
Yeah. That's, yes. Good fighting songs. I like that.
G7. Had to. We're not going to explain that one. If you guys get it, you get it.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully you get it. You get it if you're in our age group.
Yeah.
Also, about that clip that you just played saying that it had like more of an 80s vibe, I totally agree because it sounds more like some of the guitar solos that Eddie allows Rick to play in the sequel.
Yeah.
I know we're jumping around a little bit here, but
hit him with the sequel plot.
Eddie forms a band with a younger guy, and his name is Rick, and he's constantly trying to do like Eddie Van Halen like solos, and fucking Eddie hates them. He hates them so much.
Oh man, that scene. That scene where they meet up in the studio. Okay, so at this point, the world still thinks he's dead. The record company is trying to fake like he's alive.
Right.
As a promotion to release some like newly unearthed Eddie and the Cruisers material. But meanwhile, he is actually alive. He's in another band, sort of begrudgingly. He's real mean about it.
Real mean about it.
and he just keeps yelling at this kid whose band it was until he begged Eddie to be in it, and then Eddie just gets mad at him for everything.
Yeah. Well, he also forces all of the other band members out of that band. Except for the saxophone player. They replaced the bass player, and they replaced the drummer, and I believe the keyboardist.
Because the sax guy was another old dude that he knew from back in the day.
Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
All this to say, the scene
it's
where
in the same vibe. Yes. It's in the same world. Yes.
Yes, but the scene where the kid is doing the guitar solo, like is attempting the guitar solo for the first time, and Eddie is just like shuts down.
Yes.
Like it's like old man mad at the clouds stuff. Just like that is the most like that's the director being like, I hate new music.
Yes. Yeah, that's all it was. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It was like Bon Jovi came around, and he was like, you know what I don't like is that.
Yep.
Speaking of Jersey boys.
Anyway, back on track. We're back to Eddie 1 now. Eddie and the Cruisers 1. We're back on track. Sorry about that.
Stick with us. Last thing I'm going to say about On the Dark Side, before we move on to the many other Eddie and the Cruisers tracks, is this is the one where they give us a little scene in the movie, a nice little scene that is sort of like scenes we've viewed in Tender Mercies or even in Light of Day, where we get a little making of the song.
I love these scenes.
It's great. It's the most real thing you can do, and it's super fun. I'm going to play a clip from the movie.
See what I'm doing? Do it like I'm doing it.
And there's even a different version before this starts, where Tom Berenger's character, Wordman, is playing like a more ballad version of it, and then Eddie swoops in and he's like, "No, this is actually really good." Everybody's making fun of Tom Berenger's character because he can't sing and he can't play very good.
Yeah, what can he do? And then Eddie's like, music and lyrics.
Yeah,
music and lyrics.
Yeah, we can make this a rockin' song, and then all the band members start to come in and piece this song together, and then it becomes a big old hit.
It does, yeah. A saxophone's about to pop in here. When the sax comes in it's my favorite part, because it's up until then it's like I believed that they were like just playing it outside live.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then once the sax hits, you're like, oh, that's a studio recording. But yeah, it's very much one of those like, follow me type scenes in these movies, which if done well are super fun. And it's super fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you get more mileage out of that song, and you are singing this song to yourself by the end of the movie, because they use it. They don't overplay it, but they use it enough.
Yeah, it's definitely not overused. It's used the perfect amount for you to leave the movie and be like, I want to hear that shit again.
Yeah, exactly. They prime you to go listen to it even more on your own.
It's almost like Scotty doesn't know territory of just like, oh man, that was really catchy. I'll take some more of that. Mm-hmm. So since we just did the big hit off of this soundtrack, I think we follow it right up with the next biggest hit, Tender Years. I love that immediately it just blasts you in the face with this sexy sax. There's so much sexy sax all over these songs.
Yeah, there is, yes. I mean, this one to me has such an E Street beat.
Yes, it has a full-on E Street groove, but I think John is sort of pulling back the Bruce on the vocals a little bit more.
Yeah, okay.
He's not going full Bruce.
He's not going full gravel.
Right. Because like when he hits the chorus here, like Bruce would give it like that extra oomph of energy,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It honestly, like, it's a little more 50s, a little more 60s sounding.
Oh, sure.
In that way. It's a little more reserved.
There is a particular person that I feel that he's channeling a little bit more than Bruce there, but before I do that, I just want to throw out 2 Bruce songs that this Tender Years reminds me of.
Okay.
You know, kind
I
of like
got
what you were
one.
doing.
Let's see if we match.
Same world kind of stuff.
Yeah.
First up is Thunder Road. And I understand, like, this one's a little bit more faster paced, but Bruce isn't, like, going crazy in the chorus here. So it is a little bit more subdued. And it has, like, the hard pianos in there as well.
Yeah.
The second one that I thought was in that world was Backstreets.
Okay. So you went for all Born to Run tracks.
I did go pretty heavy on Born to Run here, yeah.
I mean, that is the era Eddie and the Cruisers has been most compared to for Bruce.
I mean, that makes sense.
Good picks. I mean, it is that weird thing of like, I don't for a second think any of this is ripping off
Oh,
Mr.
God,
Springsteen,
no.
but it is so similar. Personally, I was drawn to Hungry Heart on this one, just in terms of tempo.
Oh, sure.
But this is also sort of evidence of how much harder Bruce goes
Yes,
on
it
the
is.
vocals. But this is the one where I was listening to earlier, and I was like, oh, this is like a doo-wop song,
Oh, totally. Yes. Yeah.
just through a modern filter.
Yeah, especially if you, like, threw in some ahs, like, in the background there. That would
Yeah.
have really gone, like, super doo-wop.
I love playing this game of like music evolution. Like, has anyone ever given you the theory that the Killers are just doing a Bruce Springsteen? Have been their whole career?
I don't think I've heard that, no.
Next time you listen to the Killers, listen to it as if it's a Bruce Springsteen album,
Okay.
and you'll it'll change your perspective.
All right. All right. So the other artist that I think the song Tender Years has in the mix, Bob Seger.
Oh, nice.
Songs like Still the Same.
You always won every time you placed a bet.
I think this is the almost more bang on
Right?
because there's the subtlety.
It's got that same sort of like ballad marching to it.
It does, but there's a vocal subtlety
Oh, yeah.
to there's a restraint, like you were saying.
Yeah. Also, I mean, these are just other Bob Seger songs. Night Moves, a little bit of Night Moves.
Working on a night move.
Yeah? Night Moves is less ballad, more sexy to me.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah. I mean, that's a really good point with Bob Seger. And Bob Seger is one of those guys I always forget to reference.
Oh, Bob Seger, so many great songs. Just one more Bob Seger song that came to mind because it also starts off with just like big horns, just punch you right in the face immediately, Turn the Page.
Turn the Page. It's so good, and it's, for my money, the Metallica cover. It's one of Metallica's better songs. Their cover of Turn the Page.
Oh, yes.
I kind of wish they had done more stuff like that in their, like, straight outside of metal a little more. Because when they try to do metal, it's weird. When they try to fit in with metal, it doesn't work.
It's something that they could really get away with as older guys and have their metal fan base as also older people accept that a little bit easier.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I think they dabbled in making that turn in the 90s, and then they corrected back
They did,
to
yeah.
the, like,
They made a
full-on
hard
metal
U-turn.
thing, and everybody
Yeah.
went, like, but this sucks. Like, you're so out of touch.
Yeah, could you go back to what you were maybe doing over there? But yeah, a little bit of Bob Seger in the mix on Tender Years, I thought.
Yeah. I think you nailed it there. Okay, Shawn, we got to keep this train moving because there's so many songs.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about them all, ladies and gentlemen. It's impossible. It's two full soundtracks.
We love and hate when there's this much material for a movie or for a franchise.
I love it more than I hate it.
That's good. I undecided. Depends on if we just finished the episode or if we're about to start it.
That's touche.
But how about we hit Down on My Knees next?
A little moment's special touch. A little love's soul trust.
Did this song remind you of anyone outside of Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band?
I mean, it's definitely further outside that world than anyone. Jay Giles, maybe. I can hear a little Jay Giles in this.
All right.
I think it's a little more. There's a little more country, a little more southern something in it.
Oh, okay.
But it's still on that baseline of like bar rock. But yeah,
Right.
that's. I don't have any particulars for this one.
To me, this one really answered that question of what would it be like if Bruce Springsteen sang a Rolling Stones song,
Oh, sure. Yeah.
right?
Which fits totally because the Rolling Stones are nothing if not Southern American rock influenced or influencing both.
So, I thought of a handful of songs that were, again, just sort of like in the world of Down on My Knees. I came up with Brown Sugar, a little bit of Brown Sugar in there.
The guitar tone,
Exactly.
for sure. Yeah, that classic Stones tone.
Again, it's just like, it's the little pieces that add up to make it sound like a Rolling Stones song. It's not specific songs that sound like that. It's like a little sprinklings of Rolling Stones, gives you like a full crust topping.
Exactly. Yeah.
I also thought there was a little bit of Start Me Up in there as well. Again, just with the tone.
Yeah. I mean, I think "Start Me Up" was for even the Stones a return to form of
Right.
like we're gonna sound like Brown Sugar again.
Yeah, totally.
And "Start Me Up" would have just come out a couple years before this movie.
Oh, right. Yeah, absolutely. And then, maybe a little dash of piano from Let's Spend the Night Together. Because like Stones utilize the piano quite well occasionally.
They did. They always said that. I love the fun, like Stone's piano is like somebody just sat down at the piano and everybody's going to join in and sing with them. Like it's very different from Beatles piano,
Yeah, totally.
I'm going to stop right there before we get into Beatles versus Stones comparisons.
Fair. Now, the second part of this song on the soundtrack is...
It's another song. Yeah, it kind of goes into a second song.
Right, yeah. It transitions into a second song, and that song is Hang Up My Rock and Roll Shoes. I'm not going to play that song right now.
Okay.
Give the people other things to listen to on their own, but it reminds me of Blues Brothers in a big way.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah. What I am going to play in place of a snippet of that song is Wild Summer Nights.
Nice.
And this is maybe the most Bruce sounding of any of the songs to me.
Okay.
It's got that full-on E Street feel. It's got the Bruce vocals. It's got that plucky piano
It's got his
about.
high register vocals, yeah.
Right. It's got those start-stop moments that they like to do later on in the song.
Strangers,
Actually, here's one coming up right here.
cool cats, searching for some hot lips.
That sa
That was
sa.
cha, cha.
It's like
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a E Street move for sure.
It's a Max Weinberg special.
Absolutely, it is. Absolutely, it's got the rapid drum beats that he likes to do. Big sexy sax again coming in there.
Uh-huh.
And the song, right? The opening of the song,
That could almost be the opening of
Born to Run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
And I think it's got a little bit of the Promised Land in there too.
Yeah. Okay.
This is off of Darkness on the Edge of Town.
From 78.
Yeah. But then this song also has a moment where I'm like, oh, that's not fucking Bruce Springsteen at all. But then it circles back into a Bruce Springsteen moment almost immediately, and I am fascinated by that. So the song closes out with a Styx style keyboard solo and then loops right back into like a Max Weinberg E Street Band like fill to end out the song. So take a listen to this.
Stick style. Yeah, totally.
This is so Styx, bro. I'm about to come sail away right now.
Yeah.
But then, like, this is so Springsteen.
Yeah, just big old fill at the end.
Yeah.
Sax comes back in. Yeah, that's good. Oh, that Styx thing. That's funny.
Dude, that came in, I was like, holy shit, that's so Styx.
Wowie zowie. Yeah, there's a... we could play the game of matching up the Springsteen song
Oh, yeah.
for every song on this soundtrack. We totally could.
Oh, my goodness.
But I do want to keep pointing out that these songs are great on their own.
I love them.
I love them so much.
I can't stress how much I enjoy the songs from these movies.
I haven't been this excited about like soundtrack music that we've talked about in a little while, which not to poo-poo anything we've done recently, but we're coming off of a Disney movie, so I think it's safe to say like this was pretty needed.
Yeah, we didn't get much last week with singles in terms of music.
Yeah, that one, I mean, that was a whole different thing where there just wasn't much music.
Yeah.
But prior to that, Lemonade Mouth didn't
Scratch that itch for you.
the lemonade didn't quench my thirst.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah. Yeah. Still left thirsty. Well, John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band got you covered, my friend.
Ugh. Which Beaver Brown apparently was the name of a tint of paint on a
Yes.
paint can.
Yeah.
Beaver Brown.
Love it. All right, so those are the songs from the first movie. Let's go ahead and jump on to Eddie and the Cruisers 2, Eddie Lives.
Eddie 2. Yeah, it's a new band, but it's also not.
Yeah, they're called Rock Solid.
They are. So I commented to you, I mean, we talked a little bit about the plot of this one, how it's like he's almost on the run,
Yeah,
but like not really
kind
from
of.
anyone. He's not in trouble, but he's still
No.
trying to pretend to be dead. But like,
Though he would be.
yeah, he would be in trouble. Yes, yeah, taxes and stuff, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's constantly hearing Eddie and the Cruisers tracks everywhere because they're getting popular again.
Yes.
And he hates it. And in this movie, like he's got a temper in the first movie, but he's just like he's kind of fully a whiny baby in this one at best, and at worst like kind of a violent guy.
Yeah.
Like there's a scene when he's in the car with his love interest and he's like, he says to her, I don't want to hurt you, so just get out of the car, because he's like so like pissed off about how he's not a rock star anymore, or how the people like him better dead or whatever. He's got some issues.
Oh, yeah.
I'm constantly in this movie like, wow, you're sticking with this guy, friends and girlfriends and everyone. Just like
Well, he's that good at music, Dustin. You have to stick by him.
he's so destructive. Yeah, his bandmates, he just dicks them around the whole time. I mean, I guess it pays off in the end because they get to be the new Eddie and the Cruisers, basically.
That's true.
But yeah, it is a situation where in real life, once again, John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band gave us all the music.
They sure did.
To me, it sounds a little different. It sounds a little later 80s, like it is.
Yeah.
I think we get hints of different things coming in. Did you have a song from this one you wanted to start with?
Well, first, I would like to start with the sound of... I don't even know what their name was. It probably wasn't Rock Solid, but the band that Eddie takes over and forms on his own. I do have a clip of what they sound like in the movie before Eddie joins the band. And here's Rick's 80s guitar solo that Eddie fucking hates.
Eddie hates. Yes. He gives him like a lecture about guitar solos. He's like, sure, if you want to impress him that night, but like if you want him to remember you. And then in my opinion, Eddie goes on to play an equally forgettable fucking guitar solo.
Yes, he does.
Like it's
The sax is way out of place for this song, by the way.
yeah. They needed a connection. They needed to get him in somehow. And
Yeah.
it was, it's a band at a bar that has a sax player.
Yeah.
And he's the one good one.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so the kid begs Eddie to join the band after this. Eddie tells him he's doing it all wrong, fire everyone, and then it still is just a problem the whole time. So I'm going to kick it off with, once again, the sort of the big hit, the big single, at least, from the movie. And this time it's a song called Runnin' Through the Fire. This song, the reason it feels more late 80s to me is that right there, that part I just played in particular, every time gets me going. Like it makes the train jump to another track in my head every single time. Do you know which one do you know where I'm going with this?
I don't think so.
Okay, I'm going to play it again just to get it in everybody's head here.
Footloose? Oh, okay.
Yeah, just something about every time it gets to that da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, and it like leaves you hanging.
Okay.
I in my head come in with Simply Irresistible by Robert Palmer.
That's funny.
And then I would say even beyond that, the song has similarities to Simply Irresistible, or to the Robert Palmer sound, if you will. Like this, the way the bass and drum sound. There's like a chugging.
Okay.
And you said something, I don't remember the context, so you may or may not edit it out, but you brought up Footloose. And I had not thought about Footloose, but there's logins all over this too.
Yeah, there is. Yeah. it's the guitar, like in that very short section you played, whatever that guitar riff was, I was just like, oh, that sounded just like Footloose.
Yeah, that is that Kenny Loggins thing. Huh. But yeah, I mean, I think it's less Bruce sounding to me for all those reasons.
It's less Bruce sounding, but it's also still very Eddie and the Cruisers sounding. So much so that, like, sure, there's that one woman pretty early on after their first performance comes up to Rick and she says, hey, your lead singer sounds a lot like Eddie Wilson. You should capitalize on that. Like, every person that ever heard them play 5 seconds of a song and him sing should have been like, oh, this sounds exactly like Eddie and the Cruisers. Because I mean, like he formed a band, and then instead of like fully adapting the new sound around him, he was like, nah, I'm gonna do exactly, or close to exact. I'm gonna do 85% of what I sounded like before. It's not a great way to stay hidden.
Sure. Yeah. No. I mean, he changes less, I would say, than the aforementioned Jay Giles band changes from the 70s to the 80s. Like they're they're the same band, and it's a radically different sound over the years. From Must Have Got Lost to Centerfold is quite an evolution. And I would say he does like 80% of that.
Yeah.
With a whole new group of people.
Uh-huh.
In a way, that makes sense because he does seem to be a control freak.
Oh, yes,
so, like,
absolutely.
It makes sense that the input of everyone around him didn't really matter so much. Except for Wordman, who's notably not here. And I think the lyrics to all these songs are worse.
Yeah, Wordman is needed. I did have that exact thought of like, well, you still didn't have a Wordman for this new band.
Right.
For whatever reason, everybody thought Eddie was like the wordsmith. You know, it was like when he's burning the songs and the new sax player comes up and is like, be ashamed to lose all those Eddie Wilson songs. And it's like, he wasn't the fucking writer of the songs to begin with. Why are those like the special songs?
Yeah. I mean, he wrote the music. Paul wrote the words. He wrote words and music.
Yeah.
But,
Well, we just had the music in 2.
Indeed.
He does allow other sounds to be brought in that are new.
Sure, yes.
And I think the biggest departure that he takes from what Eddie and the Cruisers sounds like compared to what Rock Solid sounds like is with the song Just a Matter of Time, because he incorporates the dreamy ballad sound of the 80s into this, and I really enjoy it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just so fucking dreamy.
There's a bunch of synth going on in it. That's new.
And it's also I know that I used this to describe the piano that they use before, but it's got that like plucky guitar in there too of just coming in and out for, like 4 or 5 chords.
I
have a couple of examples of in this world sort of dreamy ballads from the time period.
Yeah.
First of which, another movie song, Take My Breath Away by Berlin.
Definitely.
It's just super dreamy, almost like you're floating kind of vibes for this one.
Yep.
Also, Heaven from Bryan Adams.
Oh, sure.
Berlin felt like you were floating in water. This one's like you're sort of floating in the air vibes.
Okay. Almost like, do you think the floating in the air is because that guitar sounded so Top Gun like?
Oh, maybe. Yeah. Time After Time, Cyndi Lauper came to mind. But this one's got that like sort of plucky guitar I was talking about.
This is really on point. Yeah.
And finally, I've got Faithfully from Journey.
Yeah. Everybody was doing it.
Yeah. I mean, it was really popular because they all sound so fucking good.
So can I add two to your stack?
Please.
The two that this song immediately made me think of were Rod Stewart's Forever Young.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And then even more specifically, I would say, and more outside the wheelhouse of any of these other ones, the song reminds me of Drive by the Cars.
Oh, yeah.
Like the drum pattern is almost exactly the same.
That's so true. Oh, I love the Cars so much.
Oh, they're great, and they do sit above all those groups. Sit at the top, at least, of all those groups in my mind.
Yes.
It definitely the furthest from like where we started with the Bruce Springsteen like Ramblers.
Yeah, it's a big departure from what all of the other Eddie music sounds like in my mind, with that dreamy quality that he added in there.
Man, I I could keep listing balladeers of the 80s, but I think Steve Winwood sits in there as well with this kind of song.
Yeah, totally.
And also this bit made me think of the John Parr song, the only John Parr song I know, Man in Motion, St. Elmo's Fire.
Oh, yeah. There's foreigner ballads out there.
Oh, yeah.
That are whimsy, dreamy, Styx, fuck. I was talking about Styx earlier. I could throw some Styx out here, too.
That's true.
All kinds of stuff.
Styx, typically, I would say Styx sits in a little different category than most of this stuff, although you were dead on with them, with
that keyboard solo?
Style solo earlier. Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think that's why this music is so good for both of these movies, just because it sounds so much like other stuff. Like they did a great job of taking small little elements here and there and mixing it all up into a nice little stew.
Yeah, dude, I couldn't be happier with the soundtrack, and the movies were worth a watch.
Yeah, definitely the first one.
Definitely the first one. Yeah. But, I mean, if nothing else, do yourselves a favor and get on your music platform of choice and give John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band a listen.
That's true, yeah.
It really is, if you've never heard it before, which I hadn't, like a whole, like, it is like new Bruce Springsteen to enjoy if you've heard all the Springsteen.
Really is.
It's like, here's some new stuff that it's not the same, but it's if you like it, you'll like this.
Yeah. So, I mean, just as a formality, I got to ask you the question. I feel like I know the answer to it already, but Dustin, if Eddie and the Cruisers in the East Street Band,
Eddie and the Cruisers and Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band,
yes,
I go to that
if they
show.
were a real,
Yes,
if Eddie and the Cruisers or Rock Solid were a real band producing music in our reality, which they kind of are, would you listen to them?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, and I feel like I did answer this a minute ago.
Yes,
told everybody else to go listen to them.
Well, you got to get the formality
rocks.
Out of the way.
Yeah. No. We got to do that. We must do our K-Flix thing.
Absolutely. We gotta live our K-Flix life.
Wouldn't have it any other way. But yeah, totally. This soundtrack rocks. Both of them.
Yes, 100%. Me too. I love it. I was not familiar with it beforehand. Big fan now. Been listening to it all week. Can't get enough.
Yeah. If you can't get enough, come back next week for, I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Hard Rock Zombies with Eric Hofstede of Internet Comment Etiquette.
Ooh, the Halloween episode.
He's coming back, kids. If you missed it the first time, he's on our Mixtape 3 episode.
Yep, I look forward to this very much. It was very fun having Eric in last time. And we're going to do the same thing. He's going to be here for the whole whole dang episode.
Yeah. Just like we had with Jacob last week, we're doing it with Eric next week. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And if you had fun this week, dear listeners, please give us a rating or review on whatever podcast platform you're currently listening to this on. And if it happens to be YouTube, give us a like and subscribe.
And find us always at fictionradiopod.com and get in touch with us at fictionradiopod@gmail.com.
See you next week when our guest is Eric from Internet Comment Etiquette for the movie Hard Rock Zombies.
Watching movies, jamming out. K-Flix 198.4 Fiction Radio.